Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Like scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Rhodri Giggs on Football. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. We're going to talk all things football for the next hour or so. It's the international break, but it doesn't mean it's going to be boring. There is plenty to talk about. And just as we wait for a few of the latecomers, we'll do a little Super 6. There's no Super 6 update this week because it's been on a break for the international break. It is back on Saturday, 3 p.m. So don't forget to do your predictions. We'll get a little rundown of the pros, ex-pros, celebrity players in the league and stuff. It's not pretty reading for most. Danny Batten of the Danny Batten Show, former world champion in MMA. He's 98th out of 100. Admittedly, he's not a football guy, but he gets involved for charity. Andy Legg, Cardiff City legend, 83rd. Super Kevin McNaughton, 70th. Rhodri Giggs, 69th. Andy Campbell, 68th. Gavin Gordon, 63. Myself, 61st. Willie Boland, 57th. Lee Jarman, 48th. Jeff Stelling, 34th. But leading the way is none other, again, than Cohen Griffith, ex-Cardiff City hero. The next round, as I say, is 3 o'clock. And there is a massive difference of 18 points between myself and Rhodri as I ground him into the ground every week, further and further.
So 18 points. 18 points, not his 35, 36.
I gave you a chance tonight. I just didn't take part for a couple of weeks. But the voice you just heard, we missed last week because I had a little bit of an accident. But I'm back, and I'm joined by ex-Salford City winger, and not forgetting ex-Bangor City winger, FC United,
Aberystwyth Town.
We never forget Aberystwyth. It is Mr. Rhodri Giggs. How are you, my friend? You good?
Yeah, good, mate. Got a live audience today as well.
There he is. Yes.
Just eating his rice pudding.
Who does he think is better? I was going to say something else. Harry Kane or...
Who's better?
Harry Kane or Wayne Rooney?
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney? Who's Wayne Rooney? Oh, Wayne Rooney. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with...
Quick.
Wayne Rooney.
Go on, son.
Wayne Rooney.
So, and this is the first little debate I want to have with you tonight because, as you know, I'm not like the biggest Harry Kane fan, but I do accept that he's an exceptional goal scorer. He's a very good player, particularly for England, but also for Spurs. I do not think necessarily that he's the best signing for United, blah, blah, blah. But I accept he's an exceptional player. However, I saw a massive debate on social media this week after Kane's taken the lead to become England's all-time top scorer, and everyone's going, oh yeah, he's much better than Rooney, he's done it in shorter games, blah blah blah. Mate, every day of the week and twice on Sundays would I take Wayne Rooney over Harry Kane. Not even a question, mate. People are sleeping and they just forget like how good Wayne Rooney was when he was 17, 18, 19, 20. God.
Do you not remember the nation crying when he broke his foot?
Exactly
Wayne
that, mate.
Rooney,
This is a kid.
They wouldn't get that if they missed Harry Kane.
This is a kid, right, mate, who signed for Man United, played his first ever Champions League game, banged in a hat-trick and went, there you go. And what was he, 19, 20, something like that? Yep. He's unbelievable, so consistent over the years. And for me, I think it's an embarrassing comparison. I'm not saying Harry Kane is shit or anything like that. Look, Harry Kane, excellent player. I think there's a debate on whether he's world class, but he is definitely top quality. Wayne Rooney is one of the best players that England has ever produced, and that's not up for debate. So how you can say just on stats, Harry Kane, what's he got to show for? He's 30, right? So he's good portion. He's into the latter part of his career.
29.
He's 30 now, mate. Come on.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Catch up. What's he got to show for his career in terms of trophies and awards? He's got a boatload of money. Yeah.
They've won the Aldi Cup, Tottenham.
Yeah. All right. I'll give you that. He's won, Player of the Month, Golden Boots, won a Golden Boot at the World Cup. Tremendous, or Euros, whatever it was. Tremendous achievements. Wayne Rooney won everything.
Is this an individual game? Or is this an individual game we're talking about? A team game?
Team game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
What did Wayne Rooney win? Anything he didn't win? Maybe it's easier.
That'd be easier. What he didn't win.
Was there anything he didn't win? I don't think he won the Europa League, did he? Oh, no, he was. He was still at United when they won the Europa League, wasn't he? He played with Zlatan, didn't he? I'm going to have to double check that. What,
with Rooney?
Yeah, Rooney, because he still played because he was playing in midfield and all sorts for United for a bit, wasn't he? I'll have a look now. I know, obviously he won everything, did he? Super Cups, World Cups, Champions Leagues. He won it all. Is there an argument that Harry Kane achieved more with England? I think that's probably a fair argument. What I would say, and this is the reason, do you think it's fair to say Harry Kane has done more in an England shirt than what at tournaments?
Anything for any of them?
Well, yeah, like Harry Kane, they got to a World Cup final, didn't they? And
right.
He won Golden Boots and stuff.
I'm based off what you've done, what they both done, and they both won nothing. So,
okay. I think that's fair. I'm just saying there's an argument. I can see why people would argue that
they both won nothing, and arguably they should have won something if he was that great.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Reese has just made the next point that I was going to make on Wayne Rooney. He says the one difference
sorry to interrupt. Do you ever see Wayne Rooney miss a penalty at a big moment like that? No, you do not. No, just to be clear. Go on.
And so Reese says he's exactly the point I was going to make just now. One difference is Rooney would literally drag his team forward, produce magic out of nothing. The City overhead kick for one. But like he would change games, and even if the rest of a team, or even if he was playing shit, he would find a way to just drag the team into the game, win matches. When was the last time you've seen Harry Kane drag England or Spurs to victory? I'm not talking like a goal. I'm talking
people have so much disrespect for the players that have been and gone, and it's not even that long ago. It's just
it's mental.
They're going off stats. 20 years ago, it was a total different game. Totally different game.
Wayne Rooney only retired technically in 2021, 2 years ago. Yeah. I know, I'm not saying like he achieved loads with Derby and DC United and his second stint at Everton, but at United, he won it all, did everything. And there was a point for United where he didn't really have the players around him, still dragged them through. Harry Kane, in a poor Spurs side over the last few years, has won nothing.
A player who drags them through wins stuff. Steven Gerrard.
Yes.
Teams
got four Liverpool sides to a Champions League final victory.
FA Cups, all kinds of different kind of stuff. Harry Kane's not done that. So please don't put him in the same bracket as Wayne Rooney. It's what's the word? We've just been talking about with that now. What's it?
Yeah, it's defamatory, isn't it? Or whatever. What is that word?
So yeah,
Yeah, and like, look, I just look. So you look at the honours. Wayne Rooney won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup, 3 League Cups, load of charity shields, Champions League, Europa League, FIFA World Cup.
They don't get
World Club Cup.
it just doesn't mean anything. That like I just touched on this Premier League Hall of Fame. There's 16 players in there already. They've got another 15 players up there already, and they've got to pick 3 of them players. So out of them 15 players and them 16 players, it doesn't make sense that someone's not in there who scored for 20 years straight in the Premier League, got 13 Premier League medals, and he's not even on there. It's just a joke.
Absolute disgrace, mate. But then, have you seen, like, he's the team he's taken over, DC United, right? He joined them sort of towards the end of last season as manager. They were not very good. First game of the season this year, they've beaten like a strong side. I think it was 3-2 or something with a last-minute goal. And you watch his team talks and the way he's got that team, like, you can see every bit of the player that he was in the way he's managing, inspiring the players, inspiring the team to go and win a game, which they had no business winning at one point. Unbelievable, mate. And look,
yeah, you can see what he did at Derby. Remember what a great job he did at Derby? We talked about, is he going to promote? Is he still not going to get relegated? Is he going to get relegated? And it was touch and go for a minute. Then the job he did there was
with
fine.
the point
So he's a good coach, stroke manager.
And look, everyone will say about the individual, Harry Kane won. The only thing which Harry Kane has got over him in terms of individual achievements is he won the Golden Boot at, I think, the Euros or the World Cup. Fine. But at the end of his career, I'm pretty sure he'd rather have a few Premier League titles and a Champions League in the bag than an individual trophy.
Correct.
So, do you agree with this? Will says Rooney the better player, but Kane is a better finisher.
No, I don't agree with that at all. No.
I can see why people
Wayne Rooney scored. Name me a goal that Wayne Rooney couldn't score. Yeah. If it was a tap-in, a header, a free kick, smashing it after just chatting rubbish to the referee for 10 seconds and then just turning and going, bang, top corner, in a bit. No, it's just different. There's different levels.
Mate, and people forget how difficult it is to hit a ball out of the sky on the volley, let alone from 30 yards.
Let alone, Manchester United,
you're not even concentrating on
it. In a Champions League game, his first game, scored a hat-trick at 18 years of age. Come on.
Yeah, there's a reason why people used to call him like the White Pele and all this. And look, the other side of it is he can score acrobatic goals, solo goals, everything. And also,
didn't have glass ankles, or didn't have a problem scoring August in his first 10 years of his career. None of that crap. So people forget all that. Harry Kane couldn't score in the Premier League in August for about 5 or 6 years.
And Harry Kane was on loan at Preston or whatever it was, when he was a teenager. Wayne Rooney was playing for Premier League football against men. So, look, I don't think it's a debate. I think it's embarrassing, but it is what it is.
These young kids just need reminding of this stuff. Just reminding. Yeah. While Harry Kane was out on loan to Lincoln or somewhere, Rooney was scoring hat-tricks in the Champions League for Manchester United. So please don't. He's a better player at 19 than Harry. He's a better player at 19 than any part of Harry Kane's career. Any player, 19-year-old boy.
Mate, there's an argument. I don't think he is the best player, but there's an argument for him to be in the conversation for the best United player of all time. Now, I don't think he is.
Yeah,
I think he's in
that conversation.
Absolutely, he is. Yeah. Is Harry Kane in the conversation
with the Bobby Charltons, the George Best, the Eric Cantonas, the Ryan Giggses, the Paul Scholes, the Wayne Rooneys, Cristiano Ronaldo's, who've missed, Brian Robson, Roy Keane,
Van Nistelrooy,
and there's another.
As a finisher, mate, no one was.
Oh, as a finisher, he's a finisher, but as a United legend, yeah.
So, here's the question, and I think this is why it irritated me so much. Right, is I can understand people not remembering just how good Thierry Henry was or Van Nistelrooy, because it's quite a while ago. Alan Shearer, whatever, all these different legends. It's a while ago. Wayne Rooney was still playing football 2 years ago. Like, I just think it's embarrassing that if you're just people basing their opinion, they just read some stats and it's like, oh yeah, Harry Kane is better than Wayne Rooney ever was. Embarrassing, absolutely.
Actually, we know how it works. So sometimes people just throw that out there because it's been a quiet week.
It's like, I understand the person who threw it out there initially, but like there was like hundreds of people going, oh yeah, I think Harry Kane's, and like Wayne Rooney, I bet you if you can, and everyone keeps going on about like Harry Kane does a lot of assists, he drops deep. Wayne Rooney was doing that for flipping years. Yes. Oh, I tell you what, absolute embarrassment. You mentioned the whole Premier League Hall of Fame, mate. I've got to ask you. Obviously, you're a United fan. To me, the first entry into the Premier League Hall of Fame should have just been one person, and it should have been Alex Ferguson, and he should have just gone it, and it should have just been him, sole person, and then they should have done all this crap with the voting and stuff. Because to me, I think no one epitomizes the Premier League era more than Ferguson. No one is more successful than Ferguson. So to me, it should have just been him, and then.
Mate, Arsene Wenger's.
Oh yeah, Arsene Wenger's right up there.
No, he's no scrub, is he? And plus,
absolutely.
I was thinking about this last week. Them games, mate, for United against Arsenal for about 4 or 5 years were tasty. They were unbelievable. Really good games. Feisty, good football, good goals, always action, always something going on. You don't see them games anymore. You just don't.
Do you know, another thing which actually wound me up on social media this week was these guys, they were City and Liverpool fans trying to make out that the Pep versus Klopp rivalry is the greatest Premier League rivalry between managers and clubs of all time. And I was like, right, so Wenger versus Fergie, which went on for years, winning trophies back, exchanging trophies, fighting and arguing and just constantly just going back and forth without, the being bankrolled by Abu Dhabi or whatever. Or when Jose Mourinho come into the Premier League and absolutely took it by storm at Chelsea, and then he went back and forth with Fergie. You're telling me that over a longer period of time, where both teams won the title numerous times, but Klopp versus Pep, where Liverpool won one title during an unprecedented pandemic, look, they still won it. But I just don't see it, mate. I do not see the same level of rivalry between the clubs, between the managers, between the players, than I do. Even if you look at United versus Arsenal this year, there was more needle and rivalry in that than any game Liverpool play against City. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's just the people that don't know football. Just don't know.
Even Benitez versus Ferguson, I find to be a more
Keegan Fergie.
Yeah, both of them.
Go far that back, and Keegan lost it. That's a legendary quote. That we'll love it if we beat them. Love it. So there's always a common denominator, isn't there? Sir Ferguson's in it.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, and again, I think how quickly people forget, like we just mentioned about Wayne Rooney, how people seem to have forgotten just how good he was. Like, everyone calls Fergie a legend, but I don't think people realise, like, even to me, like that last title he won before he retired, that was the one which I think is.
Well, you see the team, he had like Cleverley and Welbeck and Johnny Evans and Chris Smalling and Phil Jones.
Yeah, it's and that's what I mean. Like, to be able to to win a Premier League against Cities and Chelseas at that time with that team, would any other manager have been able to get that level of performance out of those players, but also get those players who have gone on, a lot of them gone on to do not a lot,
Well, no, you
to
can
a
see
level
that.
of confidence that they could win the Premier League over a season.
Well, you've seen the type of manager he was when a very good, steady manager come into Man United and was sacked after 9 months because that team that Fergie won the league with, he was about 7th or 8th with. So, it was a special manager.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. So Rob just asked, have we covered the 3 p.m. blackout of football yet? I'm not 100% sure what he's referring to. I had a quick Google. I can't see anything new about it. But
is that the thing with Dan's that with the EPL?
I think so, yeah. Like, there seems to be like a bit of a I don't know, like fans are getting behind this thing. They call in the 3 p.m. like it's outdated. It goes back to the 60s that no top level games could be broadcast at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Yet every other country in the world gets these games at 3 p.m. DAZN have bid for the EPL, and they want to take away the blackouts. And to me, I just think, look, we're in the streaming revolution now, aren't we? We're in the streaming revolution of TV. No one watches TV. Everyone watches streaming services. So why haven't the Premier League or the FA and the EPL, why haven't these organisations got together and said, right, let's not sell the rights. Let's design a Netflix type model which features the football. And they would make millions from it, mate. Millions. But as usual, behind the times, as always. Just like with VAR, just like with everything else.
It's all about the money, isn't it? Obviously, it's a lot to do there. A lot of logistics. That speaking to all teams, how much prices. Obviously, some teams are bigger than other teams. So it's a lot of It's not as easy as you would think, but
they could team up with anyone, couldn't they?
Definitely doable. To not think you can't watch a live game at 3 o'clock on a Saturday is just, in this day and age, is mind-boggling. We know there's ways around it, and you can, but legally. Yeah,
it'd be nice to be able to just flick on an app, wouldn't it, and watch it without Fire Sticks or VPNs and whatever. Like, and let's be honest, like I understand what you're saying about the logistics side of it, but like the Premier League, they could team up with DAZN, they could team up with BT, they could team up with Sky, they could team up with Netflix. There's all these different companies who would love to get involved. They'd all love to get involved in something like that. But it just feels like, as usual, the FA in this country are
big money, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Like,
Dula.
In fairness, I suppose, like the Championship and the Premier League, particularly, could sell the rights to their Saturday games to a streaming service like DAZN and get absolute fortune out of it. Maybe the Scottish League might get a few $100,000 to give to Rangers and Celtic as well, but that's the problem in a lot of the other leagues, actually, is that all the money goes to top 3 clubs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like in Rangers and Celtic take all the Scottish money, Madrid and Barcelona and Atletico take all the Spanish money, same in France and Germany. I think Germany's might be different, actually. But yeah, it is time. It's outdated. It's time to get rid of the blackout at 3 o'clock. Yeah. Just put the games on and have it. His question then, Alan Shearer or Harry Kane? Who are you taking? See, I think, as much as I think Shearer was a phenomenal goal scorer, I do think Harry Kane is a better all-round player.
Yeah, agreed.
Do a bit more.
Yeah, agreed.
So I would probably take.
Yeah. Plus, Shearer's a dick.
Yeah, there's that too. But on a purely football based, because that's what we're all about, isn't it? It's been an international break, mate, as exciting as ever. One thing I will say is Wales had a really interesting week in terms of their first couple of games after post Gareth Bale. Picked up a great draw against Croatia away, which is mad, like with the team they had, the youngsters. But one thing which caught my eye, mate, was Robert Page. In the World Cup, we criticised him a little bit for not bringing on the young players early enough for them to do anything, like the Brennan Johnsons of the world and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I noticed that on Saturday, when they were chasing a result, he took off Harry Wilson, Aaron Ramsey, and someone else with like half hour to go, put on the youngsters, and they've got something out of it. It was just a bit of a scrappy goal or whatever, but it doesn't matter. They kept it, they kept it to 1-0, and then they get away with a draw. It's a phenomenal result. And then the most important thing at the home game in midweek was just get a win. Didn't matter if it was 1-0 or 6-0. Just follow that Croatia game with a win. They got that 1-0 win, and they sit top of the table, which is crazy because I was expecting a very difficult start. It's going to take time for a lot of these players. No Brennan Johnson either. So, yeah, good results, mate, for Wales, I thought.
Yeah, it was that Croatia one. Try not to get beaten away from home and win your home games. And that's what they're doing so far. So hopefully keep it going. When Croatia come to Wales, it'll be a big game. Yeah, good. So far, so good.
Yeah, you can't do more than that.
No.
I think you're a bit like me. You don't watch a great deal of the international ones in the breaks in mid-season. I find them a bit mind-numbing. I did watch the Wales games, but what did you watch any of the England games or anything like that?
I have it on, but I don't really take much notice of it. But it seemed like England had the better of the first half, and Italy come into it in the second half.
Mate, I just remembered something I got to bring up to you. Did you see Harry Maguire's comments after the Italy game? Right?
No.
Oh, mate. The balls on this guy, I tell you what, he's got confidence in himself. I'll give him that. Bear in mind, in the run-up to the Italy goal, he made 2 massive mistakes, which led to the goal. He gave the ball away, and then when they broke through and scored, he was completely out of position, leaving the striker free to score. So there was at least that, and arguably there's another mistake in there as well. But then he's come out and he said, paraphrasing, I've got nothing to prove. I'm a United captain. I haven't played as much as I'd like to, but when I have played, we've kept clean sheets. We haven't lost in ages, blah, blah, blah. I've got nothing to prove at United, nothing to prove at England. And I was just scratching my head thinking, mate, the last United game you played, you got booed because you were taking so long to take the ball from the keeper and then pass it through the midfield. He's got to leave Manchester United and go somewhere which is more suitable to the way he plays. But to come off, it helped that England still won. But to make those 2 mistakes and then come out with that sort of statement, to me, was mind-boggling. And I don't really understand it. But, got confidence.
I think he's on his way out anyway. You can see that. He obviously wants to play. He's not going to play if Varane and Martinez stay there, which they are. So, yeah, he's going to have to make a decision at the end of the season. And I'll see him go, and we'll probably get half of what we've paid for him, which I'd snatch someone's hand off. And then you just, bring someone in.
How low would you go in terms of money to take him? See, if it was me, I would take 15, 20 million. If that was all I could get.
No. In England,
I think you'll get more, but I'm just saying.
An England centre half. Come on, mate.
You don't know, but I just mean if there was no takers, and then someone
20.
Brentford said, we'll give you 20 million.
20, yeah.
Because they just need to get him out.
But he's not going to go to Brentford, is he?
No. Well, I don't know. He needs to play,
doesn't he?
He needs to play, though, doesn't he? He's not going to play at United. You could argue that
you could think he'd go back to Leicester.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a good shout, actually.
Sheffield United get promoted, goes back to Sheffield. He's a Sheffield lad.
Yeah, and look, I would argue that he's 5th.
And that would be a great move for him.
Yeah, I agree. He just needs to play, mate. Look, I get it. He's not terrible. I got to be honest. I think there's better England centre backs, and I also think he's arguably 5th choice centre back at United. Really, if everyone's fit, because I think Luke Shaw's ahead of him, and I think Lindelof's ahead of him if fit. So he's got to go. There's a few. Another player. Oh, he's gone. Come on, brothers. You switched to your phone, have you?
Switch to me, yeah. Boom.
So another player who is likely to leave United in the summer, or at least looks like, is Scott McTominay. I had an absolute nightmare the last time he played for United. Was terrible. But then he's gone to Scotland, come off the bench on Saturday, scored a great goal, and then against Spain, arguably you'd say Spain's reserve side, but still against Spain, and has won the game for Scotland. Two great finishes. He does seem to excel with the Scottish team, but they play him. He seems to, for Scotland, he seems to either play centre back or a very attacking role, almost like a striker, or at least a number 10. Do you think he's so bad for United because he plays they always play him in like that defensive midfield role, and maybe that's just not him. Maybe he's just not a defensive midfielder, and that's why he struggles.
Well, he does score goals for United when he plays higher up, but yeah, it's a difficult question. That
I saw someone suggest, for instance, that until they're playing Weghorst every single game at the moment, is playing McTominay up front. And at first I was like, oh, that's stupid. But then I thought, well, why not? Is he capable of doing that, do you think? Would he be better than Weghorst? Would he offer the same as what Weghorst offers in terms of the pressing and would he be a better finisher? I don't know. It's an interesting one.
No.
Because Weghorst's link-up play is not great.
Yeah, he's not great if he's back to goal, mate. He's a midfielder. Weghorst has been doing that all of his life.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? That's where it'd break down. It's all right coming from deep, but playing with your back to goal, like Marcus Rashford, he can't do it.
It's difficult. It's a different role, isn't it? Like my boy plays sort of number 10 or like just behind the strikers, but he's had to play striker recently. And he struggled a little bit with it. He's all right with the ball over the top and the ball down the channels or the ball at his feet. But it's that link-up play when you've got to try and have your back to goal and lay it off or ping it about. That's where he found it a bit more difficult because he's not used to it. Reese says, if an English club buys Harry Maguire, he reckons they'll get 50 million. If he leaves England, then they might be like 30 at the most. He said maybe in the Italian league, like a Roma or a Napoli would be better for Maguire. If you look at the impact that Chris Smalling's had going out to Roma, maybe would Mourinho fancy Maguire alongside Smalling? I don't know. That's quite an interesting show, actually. I hadn't thought of that. Maybe that would be a good move for him. Get out in those. Napoli have got an incredible side, and it looks like Napoli are going to be selling the Georgian lad who plays sort of attacking midfield and Oshman up front. So if they're going to get rid of him, they're going to have money to spend. They're still in the Champions League as well, and they're going to win the league. So, Napoli, Harry Maguire.
Yeah, that'd be a good move for him as well. That would be a good move for Napoli because they're a really good team at the minute, but it's just, and it's not as pacey as the Premier League. So, yeah, I think he'd do well over there. He's going to have a lot of takers. He played for Manchester United. He's in England centre half. He's going to have some takers. It's just, who?
Yeah, I don't know. I've watched him this year a lot, and I don't know whether he's done some damage psychologically, like to his confidence and the way he reads the game. But some of the mistakes he makes are very basic, and I don't know. It's a weird one because I remember him being really good at Leicester. I thought he had a really good season for United when he first came in, but he just hasn't. He just doesn't seem the same player that he was before when he first came to United. He's lost confidence somewhere along the line, and he's making basic errors. So, sort of moving all away from United, but still involving United as it is. Silva, Mitrovic, both been charged by the FA for the Fulham game, the FA Cup game. Silva's come out and said he's aware of he's spoken to the referee. They've kind of made up, and there'll be nothing but respect between them. He understands it's a difficult job, etc., etc. He's very aware of the impact on the behaviour at grassroots level. But in fairness, I don't think with the grassroots thing, I think Mitrovic's was more of the issue with that side of things, because referees do get attacked at grassroots level.
Yeah, and the way he's explained it, he just wanted to get the ref's attention, and he's just been over the top, and it's just one of them heat of the moment things. Looks worse than it really is.
I think it was the level of aggression which was the problem, though, wasn't it? Like if he had just grabbed the referee's
heat of the moment, he's that type of player. The blood's boiling, and he's overstepped the mark. He'll be punished. I don't know what the punishment will be. Probably a lengthy one, because people are making big noise about it. So probably 10 games, 8 games, I would say, and then we move on.
Do you think there'd be uproar if he only got like a 3-game ban?
Yeah,
if he just got the basic ban, I think
he's not going to get a 3-game ban.
No, I know, but like he automatically gets a 3-game ban, and then they extend it. But even like a basic thing like Casemiro,
minimum is 6. I would say 6.
Yeah, I think 6. I think 6. Like in hindsight, you've heard the explanation from the player. Yes, the problem was the level of aggression, but I think, look, do we really want to see players out for 10 games? I don't. I enjoy watching Mitrovic play. And as it turns out, if you believe the newspapers, he could have cost himself a move to United in the summer. So, he's paying for it in other ways. Just give him the ban and move on. Everton being investigated for financial irregularities. Sean Dyche said he's not distracted by the club's alleged financial breach, and he's only focused on keeping the club out of relegation. Everton have been very lucky, mate, with the relegation over the last 2 seasons. I think particularly last season, they only just avoided it. Frankie Lampard saved them, didn't he? Could this be a distraction for him? Like, if they're genuine, it seems like they're genuinely being robustly investigated by this independent commission, and they could have all sorts of problems.
Who?
Everton.
300 million. Well, I don't know where this number's come from.
They've spent a lot of money, haven't they?
Yeah, but they've got a new ground coming on the way as well. If they get relegated, they'll be in deep trouble. But I think that they'll have enough. All them teams now are going to play each other. So you'll probably see 2 or 3 wins, and that'll get them out of it. But who will be, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not as close to the relegation zone as they were last year, although they're only 2 points clear of it. So they are 15th, but they're only 2 points clear of the...
Well, if you look at all the fixtures, they all play each other, don't they? Around about now, for the next 4 or 5 games, they all play each other. Bournemouth, Forest, Leicester, West Ham.
Big teams Leeds, down there, isn't there?
Palace, Everton. Oh.
Which Palace down, isn't it? It's Palace down to Southampton, but there's some big teams involved. Is there any other bigger names, like your Leeds, your Everton, your Leicesters, your West Ham, Southampton? Who do you think is going down? I got a feeling West Ham might go down.
No.
I don't think they're playing for the manager.
No. Leeds, Southampton, Bournemouth.
Interesting. I got a feeling it'll be West Ham, Bournemouth, and Southampton. I think it might be the 3 that are there. Although I am concerned by Leicester and Crystal Palace's form. They've both lost 4 of the last 5, and they look like they're in free fall. Particularly Leicester, they look like they're struggling. You'd think they've got too much with people like Maddison and Vardy to come off the bench, but form is what takes you down, isn't it? And gets you to playoffs and things like this. That's what does it, is the form rather than the technical ability and things like this. In terms of the Championship, mate, we'll have a look at some of the fixtures coming up for the weekend. Middlesbrough are hot on the tail of Sheffield United in second, only 3 points separates them. We've talked about Michael Carrick and what a good job he's doing. Who do you see going up from the Championship?
Well, Burnley, obviously.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough. I do fancy Middlesbrough. And it'll be Sheffield United. Have a look.
So tight in it. So tight in there. I'd say right down to probably Watford.
So Middlesbrough, Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton, Blackburn, Millwall, Norwich, Coventry. Ooh, West Brom.
I fancy Blackburn.
West Brom won the game and they go 7th. So you could go down to,
I think Watford, isn't it? Down to Watford, I would say. But that would be 5 points off the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, but even that, you've got how many players? 46. There's still 8 games to go. There's still 24 points to play for.
Yeah, Norwich play Sheffield United tomorrow as well.
All it's got to take is a Coventry or West Brom to go on a 6-7 game run.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Gavin's back. We haven't seen Gavin for ages. Where's he gone? Yes, Gavin. You all right, mate? Welcome back. Where you been? I think Middlesbrough gets second place. I think Blackburn will go up in the playoffs. I would like Luton to go up in the playoffs, though. They've come close the last couple of seasons, and I would like to see Luton get up there. But yeah, it could go all the way down to Watford, mate, couldn't it? Really, and even Sunderland, they're only 7 off the playoffs, so you get a couple of wins and you're back up there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And like I say, on the weekend, Norwich play Sheffield United, Burnley are playing Sunderland, so a lot of the teams in that top sort of 10, 11, they're all playing each other. The big game on Saturday, though, mate, is the South Wales Derby at 3 o'clock, no less. 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Was that Swansea?
No, I believe it's a Cardiff, isn't it? It's mental to me that it's in Cardiff. Absolutely crazy, mate, that it's in Cardiff on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. And let me tell you, I think it'll be the last time it's at 3 o'clock on a Saturday again after. Cardiff got to win. There's no they got to win their home games and try and pick up points away. They are a couple of points ahead of Huddersfield in the relegation zone. Obviously, the last game being abandoned when they were 1-0 up against Rotherham. I had former Wales Online journalist Terry Phillips in the studio today, and he was sharing some stories of his career and whatever, blah blah. But it was really good. It's going to be a good one, especially for Welsh football fans. But he was saying that the Cardiff are trying to appeal to get the game with Rotherham because it was abandoned at half time, I think, or 43 minutes or something. They want to continue it for the same score from where it was because it was, it was a good chunk into the game.
Yeah.
But I just say, they won't do that. They'll start the game again. They'll just replay it, won't they?
Yeah. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I can't remember many games over Europe that have been abandoned and then they just play. They just sort of go along and then just.
Where's this?
When?
Where's this?
It was at Rotherham the last.
Yeah, no. They play the match again. They can't play what's left of the remaining minutes. No, I've never heard of that before. Have you?
I can think of one. There was one game. I think it was in Germany where it was literally they had 2 minutes of injury time to play and there was crowd trouble and they went back and played it the next day or something like that, 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, I don't see it, mate. Absolutely, I just cannot imagine them starting 1-0 up to Cardiff with 40 whatever minutes left. It's not going to happen.
No.
But yeah, it'd be interesting. Leslie said he did that Sheffield United could be in some trouble for financial trouble, maybe dock points. But to be honest with you, either way, I think Middlesbrough are going to go ahead of them and catch them and whatnot. So I don't think, it will make a difference in terms of the playoffs and things like that. But ultimately, I think that Michael Carrick is going to take Middlesbrough up, I think.
Do you think? Yeah.
He's done a phenomenal job. Who's going down from a championship, mate?
Who's going down?
Going down.
Wigan, gone.
Gone. Done.
Blackpool, gone.
Done.
Let's go with
Rotherham for cheating.
Rotherham, yeah.
Did you see the video of them? So they had these people sweeping the pitch to try and get the water off the pitch because it was the rain, and they're like sweeping the water back onto the pitch because they didn't want to play. It's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. They should be done for it, but they can go down because of it, as far as I'm concerned. Right, let's do some predictions. South Wales derby on the weekend, my friend. Who's going to win? Will Cardiff finally turn up to a South Wales derby?
Who's going to win? I would say, let's go. It's always a high scoring one, isn't it? So let's go with 3-1 Cardiff.
Go on, son. I will go with 2-1 Cardiff. All right, that was the other story I wanted to discuss with you. Stephen Colker, who now plays for Wigan, I believe he might be the club captain, ex-Cardiff City, ex-Tottenham, has accused Wigan. They haven't played the players. They haven't paid, the players. I think 3 or 4 times now. They'll say, I always going in tomorrow, and then they never do. They've done it 4 times this season, haven't paid the players. Wigan's players were absent from training on Friday in protest. Stephen Colker's come out and basically, he's outright accused them of lying, saying it's absolutely scandalous behaviour. And a lot of these players, I saw a lot of comments saying, they're all on, thousands of pounds a week. But look, these guys at Wigan, they're not going to be on mega bucks. They're just not. They're not on. They're on good money. They're on a lot of money, but they've still got mortgages.
Talking 4, 5, 6, 2, 3 grand a week. It's still a lot of money, but in football terms, it's not thousands. Well, it is thousands of pounds when you're paying it every week and you've got a squad of 30 players.
But they've still got mortgages, mate, haven't they? And they've still got cars to pay off and all the rest of it. And
and footballers aren't
great with money.
Aren't savers, are they? Aren't savers. Probably live a lavish lifestyle, but probably above the means, and a 2 or 3 months not getting paid, that could catch up on you.
But you know what's I find particularly scandalous about it is all right, once, all right, there's been a problem with the pay. Okay, twice, right, come on. 3rd time, right, this is not on now. Why hasn't the FA or the Championship or the EFA, the LMA, somebody, why hasn't anybody stepped in and gone, hang on a minute, you cannot just not pay these people? Because it's not just the players and the staff and the coaches and that. It's the rest of the club as well.
The EFL,
it's the office staff.
And the Premier League and the EFL should have packages for this purpose. It's people in their league and it's making their league a shambles.
It's embarrassing.
Their league is not paying their players.
Embarrassing, mate. And I think it's not just, it is of course, it's the players, the coaches, anyone who's not anyone who is not being paid those 4 times is scandalous. But if you accept that footballers get paid a lot of money, so maybe it doesn't affect a lot of them too badly. But I would argue that not being paid 4 times would cause a problem for most people. The people who work within the club in the offices and the canteens and that, now they are dependent on where they are most likely, like the rest of the UK, living paycheck to paycheck. Now, if you don't get
Bills
paid,
coming out of the roof,
Yeah.
wrong time of year, it's freezing, people eating their own food, all kinds of stuff, and these clowns can't pay wages.
So it's going to be really interesting. So Wigan's players were not in training Friday at protest, which I think is fair. I think that's a good way to make your point. But they've already been hit with a 3-point deduction by the EFL because of this, not paying.
But you don't want it to seep into next year, do you?
No, you don't. And this is the problem. Stephen Colker said there may be a reason for late payment once or twice, but the boys, for the boys to have experienced this 5 times this season is completely unacceptable. We were told as players every day that the money is on its way. It will hopefully reach your account by the afternoon. 14 days later, the money still hasn't arrived. Furthermore, what's more concerning is we're due to be paid again on the 7th of April, and the club are unable to confirm whether they will have enough funds to pay it. Now, what is going on at Wigan? This is crazy.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
And he goes on. Go on. You could say he goes on to say about the honest and hardworking staff, players, everyone at the club. The mental health is being severely affected for all of the people involved. And this was part of a joint statement from the Wigan players. So he's not just come out. He hasn't broken ranks. He is speaking on behalf of the squad.
Yeah.
I got to say, I think it's disrespectful to the people involved. Like, I really do. And if Wigan...
When you've got someone like Dave Whelan and who's funding it and been there for so long...
But it's not him anymore, is it?
No, that's what I was going to go on to. Then he sells it, and then I think there's a young lad in charge.
Bahraini businessman.
Yeah, and then someone else took over now. Yeah, and it's just obviously mismanaged. It's a rugby town. It's not a football town. It's a rugby town. You go there tonight, where Wigan, you turn the TV on now on Sky Sports, and you'll see a packed out Wigan Stadium. You watch it on a Saturday, you'll see 5,000-6,000 people there. But on Friday night tonight, because Wigan are playing, I was just watching it before the warm up and the 10 minutes before kickoff. It was packed. A Wigan town, it's a rugby town. It's not a football town. So you're not going to get big mass. You're not going to fill it out. You'll fill it out when I've been there when we played Wigan when Manchester United went in the Premier League. It was full then, but that's a long way away. And they were probably the only times it was full with the big games like the Uniteds or the Arsenals or the Chelseas coming into town because they want to see the big players. But other than that, you're not going to get them these days. So you're going to get 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, especially at the bottom of the league. People aren't going to turn out. People, a lot of money. We've seen Oldham Athletic, who are a non-league side, and Oldham Athletic are massive. They were a Premier League outfit 20 years ago, and now they're in National League.
Yeah,
drawing against Wealdstone on a Wednesday night.
But I'm sure someone will correct me. I'm pretty sure that when all those years Dave Whelan was in charge, everyone got paid on time and got paid what they were.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt of that. There's no doubt of that. He's a Wigan bloke. He's an old school man. He's not gonna. Yeah, he's got money. So if it means B, he would have paid them out of their own pocket just to save face. But it's a different person in charge now.
Yeah. So in an open letter to the fans of the club, to people, the Wigan chairman Talal Al-Hamed wrote that I can confirm our players' wages have now been paid. I can only apologise for the delay, the stress is caused, the players, the staff, everyone involved, as well as you, the fans, the wider stakeholders. This issue has now been resolved, and I can assure you that late payment of wages will not happen again. It simply cannot happen again. Now, that little bit on the end would worry me if I was a Wigan fan, because that indicates to me that they don't plan on it happening again, but there is a chance that it could happen again because they're up shit creek. But maybe that's just me looking into it a little bit too much. Look, there's 8 games to go. They are 8 points off safety. Will those players be able to fight for the club enough to keep them up, or are they pissed off and going to not down tools, but will they be distracted? Gone.
Gone, mate. Gone.
You don't think that they may get a bit of a siege mentality?
Gone, mate. Gone. When I was manager of Salford, I cut the wages halfway through the season. When you lose people, mate, you lose people. It only takes that little 5% extra that they're not giving. And when you need that extra 5% and you're fighting a relegation battle, you're going to need everything you can muster, and you're not going to get that because they're pissed off and they're annoyed.
Well, they got a very, very young manager in charge as well, mate. Sean Maloney's the manager at Wigan.
Yeah, he is, but he just took over from Torre, who they only had to give 10 games to, but obviously in one game.
10 games.
So it's just shambles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't bring in a novice coach, even though he's been about the game. A novice manager coach when you're in deep doo-doo. You bring in a Neil Warnock, a Chris Wilder, an experienced Wildy character who knows how to get out of trouble, not a novice. And then this is where we're at. So it's poor management from the top. You bring in a name because he's a name. He's not even managed or coached. He's coached under Brendan Rodgers for the last 4 or 5 years and not really took any reins or took any decisions or made any big managing decisions. Now he's thrown in the deep end in the Championship. No.
Yeah. And he's given 10 games. What are you going to do in 10 games?
And loses every single one.
Yeah. And Sean Maloney, again, like he is, look, congratulations to him for taking the job, getting the opportunity. Good for him. But like, he is no way experienced enough as a coach and a manager to be in a relegation fight with 8 games to go.
You're there in the system, and someone says, asks you for that job. You think about it, you think, I might not get this chance again.
Yeah, no, I understand.
In the hindsight of things, you should have stayed well away from it because it's unfixable.
It's a no-win for him, isn't it?
Oh, that's going to be stuck with you. So, difficult one. It's a really difficult one for Maloney. He's probably thought, you know what, I've got enough. But no, it's difficult.
At the end of the day, like if they go down, which it looks like they will, Sean Maloney will forever have relegation from the Championship on his managerial CV. Doesn't matter that he had only been in there for 8-9 games or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, like you say, with hindsight, maybe should have got well away from it. You know, Sam Allardyce looking to get back into management. Neil Warnock's just gone to Huddersfield. All these guys who you could have brought in till the end of the season to try and steady the ship, but they gave it to Torre, who had never been a manager before, only a coach. And then Sean Maloney, who's just doing something for the club. You know, let's be honest, Sean Maloney's there because he loves Wigan. That's why he's taken the job. He loves Wigan, and it's a chance for him to show that he can be a good manager. But look, frustrating all round. But I also just episodes like this with not paying players and staff and stuff. To me, it's just embarrassing for football in the UK as a whole. Like when we've seen these clubs like Macclesfield and Bury and these clubs fold, I just find it embarrassing as a football fan that it's come to that, and that there's no system in place within the FA or the PFA or something. Like there should be some sort of process to make sure these clubs don't fold. There's so much money in football, particularly in the Premier League, but even in the top end of the Championship, we should be able to save these clubs before they go bust. Should be try. And I'm not saying you can't financially rescue every single club. I understand that, but rescue them in the short term, but help them find investment or ways to stay afloat before they fold. Let's not wait until Wigan are on the brink of administration and going bust before something's done within the greater, like the larger part of the game, whether that's the FA or whoever. Like, let's make these clubs be run properly. The fit for proper purpose thing, which is that Yeah, it's fit. That's what it's called, isn't it? Fit for purpose for the owners and stuff. It's a joke, mate. Absolute joke. I mean, look at United. They've got 1 billion in debt because of the Glazers. 1 billion in debt. United. That's how much debt. And
it's more 500, 550.
No, they came out today, didn't they? He said it's like 1 billion in debt.
Is that dollars? Do they do it in dollars?
I don't know. Either way, mate, it's an absolute disgrace that
Well, it is when you think of it took over and the debt was 550 million. So how's it raised when they're taking fucking 10 to 80 million out a year? So, yeah.
If they stay, mate, I could see United fans rioting. I got to be honest. And I really do think that, like, if they get investment from one of the bidders in the process is like an investment company in America, and they were on about like they'd give the Glazers like 2 billion for a portion of their shares, but the Glazers would stay in charge, and then that money would go towards the stadium and stuff like that. Mate, I honestly think United fans, because they've got it in their head, the Glazers are going now. If they turn around and turn down the Qataris, turn down Jim Ratcliffe, take like a little bit and...
Well, what throws a spanner in the works yesterday that come out in the NFL that the Washington Commanders were offered $5 billion. Now, I know it's an NFL team, but Washington Redskins Commanders, they've changed the name, not changed the name. $5 billion. Now we're talking about Manchester United here, so they've probably thought, wait a
minute.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be a long process, but I expect it's sold in the summer, or you're just gonna get the same shit.
So the report today says Manchester United owe £969.6 million through a combination of gross debt, bank borrowings, and outstanding transfer fees. It's frightening, mate. Honestly, that is an incredible amount of money, and it's no wonder that the Glazers now they're at a point where they can't take any more money out, can they? So they that's why they're looking to sell or get investment, because they can't take their few million every year. So yeah, incredible, mate. I really. But again, if surely the Premier League, why is an owner able to decimate a club? Like, if they could do it to United, they could do it to anyone. But why is the Premier League allowed?
I don't think you can do what they did back then. I don't think you can do what you did back then and buy a club within so much debt. Yeah, I don't think you can do that now.
So, Terry, it's just reminding me of this. Terry Phillips said when Sam Mann bought Cardiff, he told me today, he was telling me this story. Sam Mann bought Cardiff for about 900 grand back in the day. And then what he did, so he got a loan, bought the club, and then made himself chairman or president or whatever, and paid his wages at whatever, like 900 grand, and then basically got the club for free, paid off his loan. That was the rumor, at least. But like, that's incredible, isn't it? Like, but here we go. These businessmen, they know what they're doing, mate. They all about the money, all about the cash. We'll see, mate. We'll see. Let's do some Super Six predictions. Just while I bring it up, mate. I had an interesting conversation with someone the other day. If you could pick one ex-United player to go into that current side, but they've got to fit into the formation, the tactics, the way Ten Hag plays, what player would you pick? Super Six. I know who I would pick, but I'm interested who you would pick.
Roy Keane. And that team, Roy Keane.
Interesting. So I had two.
Mind you, one minute. Let me think of this. One minute. Because
I whittled it down to three.
That's not necessarily what we need in that team, is it? But what we would need in that team, it would be two people. It would be either Andrew Cole or Ruud van Nistelrooy or Wayne Rooney.
So
Anyway.
I sort of whittled it down to 3 when I was thinking about it, and my 3 was Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, and Keane. Keane to be alongside Casemiro.
People sleep on Andrew Cole.
Yeah, but mate, I just think Van Nistelrooy was
Andrew Cole's
he's the
got a better
perfect
score.
combination.
Andrew Cole's got a better scoring record.
Yeah, to be honest with you, mate, I'd probably pick Rooney out of the 3 of them anyway, just because I think if you put Rooney at his peak, at the head of where Ghost has been playing, Rooney would be scoring for fun. Okay, Super 6 predictions for the weekend. We did our Cardiff Swansea one, didn't we? Arsenal versus Leeds at Arsenal. Arsenal chasing down the Leeds.
2-0 Arsenal.
I've gone 3-0 to Arsenal. Brighton at home to Brentford. Oof, that's the top of it. That's a European place.
3-1
battle.
Brighton.
Where are they compared to each other? Then, oh, look at that. They're neck and neck on points. Brighton have got a slightly better. Yeah, I gone 2-2 actually. Crystal Palace versus Leicester at Palace. That is a relegation humdinger. Both in terrible form. I've got 1-0 Palace. Marginally. But they both lost 4 of the last 5. And they're both
Who is it?
Palace home to Leicester. Oof. There's 2 points between it.
1-1.
Oof, I got 1-0 Palace. Chelsea home to Aston Villa.
2-1 Chelsea.
I've got 3-2 to Chelsea in that one. High scoring game. West Ham at home to Southampton. West Ham 2-1 for me. Another relegation battle, isn't it?
1-0 West Ham.
Do you know, I just think Southampton have got to start winning if they want to get off the bottom of the table. Yeah. But West Ham at home, you'd expect West Ham to do it. Newcastle home to Manchester United. I think that's going to be a very tough one for United. Newcastle have found a bit of form recently. Who you got?
Which one was that?
Newcastle home to United.
3-1 United.
I went 2-1 United. And then last one, Leslie asked us to do one for Huddersfield Town versus Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick versus Neil Warnock.
See, that was last one. Sorry, I was reading the message.
Huddersfield versus Middlesbrough. Warnock versus Carrick.
I've already said this one. What did I say?
No, we did Cardiff Swansea. We did, didn't we?
I've done this one. I don't know. Oh, 3-1 Borough.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Borough. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, nice one for joining us. Appreciate all the comments and questions as always. And check out Violent Money. Check out Sigmatic Coffee. Use the code ACENation. Check out ExpressVPN. Links to everything in the description. Support the sponsors. Support the channel. Check out the Sports Social Podcast Network for audio versions of all our shows, including this one. It's been a pleasure, mate. Top man.
Say bye, mate. Ethan, see ya.
Bye.
Nice one, Ethan. Legend. When you're taking over from your dad.
He's ready for that, mate.